Matt, this has been the best party ever. Can't believe
Excellent.
you're 1 year old. You're one. Look.
It is so exciting.
I have a present for Maxo.
Hola, señor.
Gracias.
The garden looks magnificent.
Thank you, sir. Mike está enfermo.
Enfermo. No está enfermo, ¿ok? Él tiene un gran motivo, pero no está enfermo. Y lo demás, este día es para Maxwell. No de Matt, no de Jeff, nadie más que Maxwell.
Okay.
Pero gracias, thank you. That was so nice.
Delightful. It's an extraordinary xylophone. Gracias.
So, Matt, where's your gift?
My gift is too enormous to be confined by a material possession. My gift to King Maxwell, who...
Welcome to the Big Match Minute. I'm Diet Coke.
And I am Lilith.
And this is the show where we watch wrestling matches that are significant to us and we break them down minute by minute. Last week we talked about, we just gave some sort of background for the Final Deletion, and today we are watching and discussing minute 1 of the Final Deletion, starring the Hardy Brothers.
Yes. Minute 1 of...
Off with a bang, I would say.
Off with a fucking bang. It's
the thing, so it makes sense once we get to the context, but sort of that the music that kicks this off is, I will say, not what I was expecting.
Yeah. It's festive.
Yes.
Which of course makes sense as the drone shots reveal that it's time for a birthday party.
Yes.
This weird little like shed thing.
I thought you were gonna say this weird little kid.
I would never say something like that about King Maxwell.
I know you wouldn't, and I'm sorry for assuming that of you.
Wow. So this weird, wrestling hanger that Matt Hardy has
Yeah.
is
decked
decorated out for a fiesta.
Yes. For young Maxwell. Can we talk about the name Maxwell for a second?
Yes, we can.
No, you got excited? Is there anything you would like to say?
I love the name Maxwell.
I didn't. So can I tell you my journey with the name Maxwell?
You tell me.
I didn't want to be insensitive to anyone, and I was like, what's up with this name? Let me look this up. Let me see where this name came from. Is this like a historic name from another culture that I don't know about it? Right. And I looked up Maxwell name, and the first thing I saw was, did you mean Maisel? And then I found some baby name websites, and let me tell you, there is no data on the name Maxwell prior to 2016 on any of them.
Interesting, really?
And 2016, coincidentally, the year the Final Deletion came out.
Right. Which would have been, Maxwell, around the time of Maxwell Hardy's first birthday.
Yeah. So, like, I don't know. Maybe it is like an old name that I just know that came to prominence once more because of this. But I just think it's an interesting name. I had a friend from elementary school through high school whose name was Karina, which is, a fairly common name. But her name was Karina. This was a famous story she would tell. Her name was Karina because her parents meant to name her Katrina, and they misspelled it on her birth certificate and then just rolled with it. And that was my first thought when I heard the name Maxwell. I felt like they were missing a W in there.
Yeah. Here's what I'll say about it. I think Maxwell's a great name.
Also, the first time I saw Maxwell written down is on the president of the big envelope in the background, in which mommy and daddy are misspelled as well. So,
yeah. But Matt Hardy, he invented the tag team TLC match.
He invented the name Maxwell? Is that what you're gonna say?
He's responsible for the renaissance of the cinematic match. Maybe he came up with a cool name.
Yeah, maybe that was an instance of broken brilliance. Was the name Maxwell? It is cool. Yes, I'll give him that.
Exactly. So So the opening line of this minute. Matt, this is of course, this is Rebby Hardy speaking.
Yes.
Matt, this has been the best party ever. I can't believe you're 1 year old. You're one.
Yeah.
She's,
now, best party ever. It does seem to be, maybe they were ahead of the curve. Maybe they knew something was coming. But it does seem to be only the three of them there.
Yes. This is not a very well. I mean, okay. What is the point of bringing guests to a party for a 1 year old?
That's true, but people do it. And also, it's not that I think there necessarily needs to be people. It's just that it's weird. I wouldn't call it a party. It's more of a hang,
It's just a casual hang.
Yeah, I guess you can have a 3-person party. I guess that's a thing. I
feel like if you're gonna celebrate a 1 year old, you don't. I feel like, from what I've heard, I've never raised a child myself. But 1 year olds there's some whims to a 1 year old, and they could derail a party pretty fast.
Sure.
At which point you've invited a lot of people out to your weird compound in the middle of the woods in North Carolina. They've driven 3 hours to be there, and now the baby won't stop screaming. The guest of honor won't stop screaming, I should say.
Yeah. Can I tell you what's buck wild about this minute?
Yes.
How long have we been talking about it, and we have not addressed the fact that young Maxwell has the same hair as his father?
Yeah.
Maxwell has more of a gray streak, but it's like he has coloring in the exact same spot that Matt Hardy does.
What are the ethics on bleaching a baby's hair?
Well, the thing is, because it's gray, I'm wondering if because it is unethical to bleach a baby's hair, if maybe they were using some alternative dyes instead.
Yeah,
because
you can just do like a spray on like silver or gray dye that'll just kind of wash right out.
What it was.
Okay.
And it looks a little like brittle, like which would be consistent with a spray on coloring, I would think.
That is I think you're right.
Is the implication, like, is the in-universe idea that the baby's hair just grew like that because Matt Hardy's energy is so powerful?
That sounds right.
Okay.
I don't fucking know. I tell you what, I've invited, there's a guest that will be coming on to the show who, if we have questions about fucking Hardy lore,
okay,
save them for Vitus.
Okay, good to know. I will jot that down.
Yeah. But if I can, cute kid.
Yeah, it is a cute kid. And the kid just goes like, oh, in time.
Yeah, there's a very cute noise.
Yeah.
that
very adorable
Maxwell
child.
Makes. And Matt is very excited. And then Senor Benjamin approaches.
But before we even get to Benjamin, I would like to talk about something that Matt Hardy says. So I'm sorry, I'm not familiar with her prior to literally today. I keep forgetting her name. But Matt Hardy's wife, Rebby?
Yeah.
Okay. After she says her thing about the party, Matt Hardy says the word excellent. But he said, I just want to highlight the way he hits that word.
Yes.
He says it like, and listen, I'm one to talk. I've certainly accidentally been guilty of this in the past. He says it like a white newscaster saying a Spanish word. Like he says it like he's going to say Escalante or Excellente in that style, but he's just saying excellent with just this weird accent on it. It's just so bizarre.
Yeah. I feel like, if I could just say, I feel like a lot of season 2 of the Big Match Minute is going to be, hey, let's stop for a second to talk about how Matt pronounced a word, because that
it grabs me every time.
Yeah.
Every time he opens his mouth, I am captivated.
He's excellent.
Yeah, and also, I don't know if I guess we'll get to this in a second. I'll save it for when we get to it. Never mind.
Okay. So Senor Benjamin, he's got a present for Maxwell.
Yeah. Yes. He's holding it in a very strange way.
Yes.
He's holding it as if he's balancing something on top of it. but he's not.
Or like it's a cake, maybe.
Yeah, he's holding it kind of like it's a cake. There's a lot of like, and there's so much to talk about in this minute. There's a lot of things in this minute that just sort of suggest unreality. There's just things that don't mean anything, but just aren't quite the way they should be. And I think him holding the present like that is part of it. Another part of it is like something that they teach is like literally like day one cinematography class at film school, and I know because I took a cinematography class. Yeah. The lighting changes every time the shot changes.
Yes, it does.
There's no consistency in the way this is lit.
And actually, now I'm looking back at it, and the shot where we see Senor Benjamin holding, his present. There looks to be a buffet like there should be several people here set up on a table far behind him.
Yes, that's all. You also see that briefly in like the establishing shots at the start of the minute.
Yeah. The unreality here is it's deep and it's excellent.
Yeah. It just sort of, I mean, kind of, frankly, like the Firefly Funhouse match would do later. It just sort of, it suggests you're in a dream without saying it. I would also like to ask, what is Senior Benjamin's relationship to?
Rebby's father.
Oh, Rebby's father. Okay.
Yes.
I thought he was an employee because he called Matt Hardy Mr. Matt in the little preview we saw, I thought was weird.
He does call he also seems to be the groundskeeper of Matt Hardy's home.
Well, that's the thing. I just thought it was very funny in the last thing we watched that like he's just going about his day while Matt Hardy is like clearly on one,
Right. Well, yeah.
He's just like going about the gardening while Matt Hardy is like going off on this crazy thing on his brother.
I mean, yeah. Other than what we saw, last episode, Rebby momentarily saying like, "Oh, Matt's gone off the deep end." I think you'll find that both Rebby and her father are bought in.
Okay, they're very supportive of broken Matt Hardy.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Very much. Of course, Matt comments, "The garden looks magnificent."
Yes, he does. Just the way he says it is just. He's a different person every time he opens his mouth.
He really is. It's so good.
And I love it.
It's so good. I actually want to listen to him say that again.
The garden looks magnificent.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, because when he says that line, he is like, he's suddenly in like a Lifetime movie where he is the generous rich man.
The garden looks magnificent.
Yeah.
Which, to his credit, Senor Benjamin immediately says in Espanol.
Yeah.
Is Matt sick?
Yeah.
Which, like, yeah.
And it's also, so I would like to address Rebby's response as well. I think this is part of the unreality. I don't know how intentional this was, if this was like part of the localization in the subtitles. Yeah. But like the way she talks, this is surprising to me to learn that this man is her father, because the way she talks is like she's reading, she's like Matt Hardy's press director. She's so formal.
It is. It kind of sounds like a wrestling promo.
Yeah.
Sick. Matt is not sick. He's motivated.
Yeah, motivated. Yeah, that's it. And then the use of the word moreover, which again I don't know the Spanish word. I don't know if it is like a similarly formal word, but moreover, this is not a day for Matt or Jeff. This is a day for Maxwell. It's just such a. It's just there's such a PR element to this.
Yeah. It's
very strange to me that this is her talking to her father, who was like sitting with his hands crossed in front of him and just nodding politely the whole time.
I mean, is this just the way you behave if like, if
this is your life?
If this is your life, your daughter has, your son-in-law is just absolutely off the shits, and your daughter has bought in entirely.
It's also like, it's like if I may be so bold, in our friend group we talk about Diet Coke energy. This is just three people extremely committed to the bit. Whereas like if we accept this as like we accept that this is reality. When we look at this as a real situation and we try to determine their motivations, it can only be that all three of them are like committing very hard to the bit.
Yeah.
And I love that for
like
them.
that there's like a lead pipe that's breaking down in their water system.
Yeah. It's so good.
And then speaking of which, Matt has unwrapped King Maxwell's gift.
That is, and here's the thing. There's no way that Benjamin,
Senor Benjamin.
there's like he bought the xylophone not for Maxwell, but so that Matt Hardy could say that line.
Yeah.
Like it is so engineered in the most delightful way. It is so engineered to be a funny thing that Matt Hardy can say.
I'm sorry, I need to listen to it again before
Delightful! It's an extraordinary xylophone. Gracias.
So he says, delightful! It's an extraordinary xylophone.
And the whole time he's like presenting it to camera and then also like dramatically turning to look at Senor Benjamin.
And Senor Benjamin, who like the tone in Rabbi's voice has just been like dismissed essentially. Like, she says thank you, that was so nice, and then she turns her back and walks away from him, and he doesn't follow. It's like it's just weird.
Yeah.
Like, you get the distinct feeling that he is not invited to the party. He has come to drop off the present, and that's it.
And get the fuck back to gardening, Senor Benjamin. We'll talk about that next week.
Yeah, I suppose we will.
And then Revy asks, so Matt, where's your gift? And Matt says, my gift is too enormous to be confined to material possession.
Yeah.
My gift to King Maxwell, who, and that is the end of the minute.
Yeah.
Which I really, we've been referring to him this way, but I don't think we'd actually heard that out loud yet.
King Maxwell.
Calling your 1-year-old King Maxwell?
Yeah. Also, if he's the king, what are you?
Yeah, right? Oh my god.
The weird thing too is I remember, I don't know if I said this already, but I meant to. I legitimately like the decorations for the party.
They're so
it's
good.
a well decorated party. There's like little luchadors on the like little plastic luchadors on the ring. They're so cute.
Yeah.
There's a ladder hanging up in the background, which is like I love that as like part of the wrestling theme is they just have ladders for decorations. It's great.
Oh yeah. It's great. It's great. And like it really does feel like it almost going back to our, talking about like, oh, this seems like it was set. It almost does seem like they really did like decorate for guests to show up and then just nobody they invited showed up.
Well, here's the thing. No, I mean, with my head canon, so to speak, about these three characters, is that there are three people who are just extraordinarily committed to the bit. I think maybe they did it for themselves.
Yeah.
I think maybe they wanted these decorations, and even though it was just the three of them, they did it for themselves.
Yeah. One more thing before we put this minute to bed. Put yourself in the shoes of like, what is it, like 2036 or whatever. You're like 20 years old. You're Maxwell Hardy, and you get to look back on your first birthday as a YouTube clip with millions of views. That is a cult wrestling classic.
Yeah, that's wild.
That rules. That rules.
My first birthday party footage is just some like shoddy VHS footage of my sister shoving my face into a cake.
Oh,
I would say this is way better.
That, yeah. Now, was that the first cinematic match?
My sister shoving my face into my cake?
Yeah.
Maybe. Maybe my sister was an innovator.
Yeah.
When I guess she would have been 4. She was just like, I'm going to shove this little idiot's head into a cake.
Okay. Well, Diet Coke, do you have anything else you want to say about this minute?
No. I think we've mined all the gold we can from this minute, and there was a lot.
It is. Yeah. It's a substantial minute of a substantial match. I got a really good feeling about. I mean, I enjoyed the Firefly Funhouse match, but this has, there were still moments of that one where that corporate veneer really, really shined through.
Yeah.
And as much weirdness as they were able to get away with. But this one just feels...
This looks like something you would stumble across on public television at 2 a.m.
Yes, exactly. But also made by, 2 genuine innovators.
Yeah.
In wrestling.
Yeah. Yeah, it seems like something you would stumble across on public television at 2 a.m. and then remember for the rest of your life.
Yeah. I'm excited to get into the rest of it with you. But before we do that, God, we burned through a lot of good plugs material in
we did.
Season 1. Even the one we used in episode 0, that was a redo.
Yeah, we burned through a lot of good material, and frankly, we burned through a lot of bad material as well in Season 1.
That's true.
And what we're left with is no material.
Yeah. So, hey, Diet Coke, is there anything on the internet that you would want people to pay attention to?
Yeah, sure. You can follow me on Twitter at verycoolemily. I don't have any other active podcasts right now, which is a rare thing for me to say. But sometime soon I will be performing my Dinner with Andre with my friend and co-host from other shows in the past, Andrew Lindy. That'll be on my Twitch page where I also stream video games sometimes. So go to dietcoke.cool to find that, or twitch.tv/dietcoke666. And that's all for me.
Recently, on their Twitch platform, Diet Coke and I guess we did it once. We might do it again.
I think we'll do it again.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. We were playing Halo Combat Evolved, the first one, and Diet Coke was committing several war crimes.
I mean, yeah. I would say in the video game, I wasn't just doing that in real life while we were also playing
Those
Halo.
were real people.
Those are not real people. I don't want any rumors getting out here. She's referring to the Marines in the game Halo Combat Evolved. Categorically not real people.
Loves to slaughter Marines.
I also don't think Marines are real people in real life.
Anyway, you can find me twitter.com/deathcarpets, where I am respecting our troops.
Okay. Is that what you want to say? Is that the image you want to put forth?
And you can go to ghostpuncher.net, where you can find podcasts that I make, a webcomic that I used to make. Who knows? That webcomic might come back sometime. Oh, yeah. Here's another plug. This is something that we should be doing more regularly here in the plug section. Noisespace.xyz.
Oh, yeah.
The network that has graciously provided us space to peddle our wares.
It's graciously provided us space to make some noise.
Yeah. And there's a lot of really good podcasts on that network. Henry Kissinger's Pokemon Going to Die is a classic.
Yeah. Good show.
Fear Baiting. This is not a podcast network made of the consummate professionals who you might find on a worse podcast network. These are people like you and I, regular jagoffs who have to live their lives and aren't being paid zillions of dollars in mattress money.
Yeah. That's what podcasts should be all about.
Exactly. So check out LMNOP, which is it's an elementary. I said that weird. That like I was
Broken Lilith.
Yeah. I'm getting real into the Broken Matt thing. It's an elementary watch podcast. The good Sherlock Holmes in modern days show.
Yeah. The one with Lucy Liu, right?
Yeah, with Lucy Liu and that guy from Hackers, whose name I'm forgetting.
Give me till the end of till we're done recording. I can get it. Jonathan
Great.
Rhys Meyers.
That's not it.
It's
I'm
not,
almost
but it's something
certain.
like that.
Another excellent noise space show you should check out, Radish, which is hosted by a few friends of mine. I was actually on an episode with my cohort in Ghost Punching, Amanda. Go fucking check. Go to noisespace.xyz. Is a cool website with a lot of cool podcasts on it. Now, Diet Coke, you have defeated me in all of my requests, hopes to, end this podcast in some kind of way that might be satisfactory to a regular listener. So can you just say no and we can get it over with?
I can't do that, Lilith, but his name is Johnny Lee Miller.